Just a reminder, everything I show you and talk about in this video is in the PTS. You can see that on the right side of your screen where it shows the Division 2 logo, followed by my gamer tag and the PTS serial number. So this is all subject to change. However, we do know that just like in the past, a majority of this, if not all of this, will be in the live game once it's, going live next month. So, with that being said, this is going to be your full review and gameplay featuring the new exotic knee pads, the Acosta's knee pads. Here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 PTS video. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comments section below. But in today's video, I'm going to show you the new exotic knee pads, and this is probably my favorite thing being added to the game. Well, my favorite gear item being added to the game, because I do like the new exotic shotgun as well. They pair up very nicely together. It seems like these two shotguns, or these two exotics, were pretty much thought about in the same regard, because both of them have to deal with movement speed, and we have never seen anything regarding movement speed since Warlords of New York and the Lady Death. So, let's talk about the Acosta's knee pads. We're going to break them down. I'm going to show you the new exotic feature that is with these knee pads, and we will finish up with some live gameplay. So I hope you enjoy. Now, talking about these knee pads, remember we are in the PTS. All of this can change. And the first thing to change is going to be the look of the knee pads. Right now, they just look exactly like the Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads, and they even stated in the known issues for the patch notes that they will upgrade and update the look of this exotic. However, the cool new feature of this exotic gear item is that you can change the attributes. However, they are the same type of attribute. Now you can see I have a few different pairs here, and they have different attributes, right? So I have headshot regen, crit chance regen, another crit chance regen. And the thing that stays the same is it is always a red and a blue normal attribute. So whenever you reconfigure these, you can change them. However, it will forever be a red and a blue. You cannot change the core attribute, and you cannot add a yellow anywhere in here. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the cool new talent. It is called Escape Plan. So vaulting over objects will grant you a 10% movement speed, and I find this very useful. You'll see that in the gameplay. I go into the Dark Zone and I use this for quite a while, and I really do enjoy it. I like it a lot. This goes really well with a armor regen build, and I really do feel as if they made these to be used in PvP, more specifically the Dark Zone, and that's where the very first place I take them. Now, on top of vaulting over things, if I don't move for 5 seconds, it will grant 20% movement speed. And if I am affected by a status effect, it will also grant me 10% movement speed. Now, I can only get 20 max. So if I, say, am on fire and I vault over something, I will get 20%. If I stay still, I will get 20%. But I cannot ever get anything more than that 20%. Now, it also says that you gain a negative 50% movement impairment penalty from status effects, which means if you're shocked, burn, bleed, anything like that, you will be able to move 50% more than you would have without these knee pads. So having that and having the ability to add more movement speed, it just makes these a no-brainer for somewhere like the Dark Zone, where a lot of people do like to use status effects, and movement speed is very helpful in PvP. Very helpful. Now in the gameplay, I'll be using this build. This is a build that I'm going to be showcasing later on in a separate video, and it is my Acosta's regen god build, basically. And this thing's ridiculous. I'm running around with the shotgun, which slows people down, but then I also have the knee pads, which can speed me up. And there is going to be some PvP action in the gameplay. You will see I do run into someone in the dark zone and have a little bit of fun. But this is the build that I will be showcasing later in the gameplay. Now, as far as anything else with the Acosta's knee pads, oh yeah, you cannot use these with anything else having movement speed. So that's why I am not using this with the Lady Death, because remember, the Lady Death movement speed bonus from the Breathe Free talent. However, you could use it with the Ouroboros, which would be pretty dirty. You could use it with the St. Omos, all of these, and then gain that movement speed. However, with the Overlord being the new shiny thing, I am using this. It's kind of fun. I do enjoy it. Now, if you could have a team that runs one person Overlord, one person Scorpio, and then have the other two people run like Lady Death or Ouroboros, ooh, it'd be nasty. It'd be nasty. Because this Overlord decreasing the movement speed, you'll see in both taking over landmarks and in the PvP portion that it does work quite a bit, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I like it. Now we are here for the knee pads. Now let me show you how they work. With that, let's fast travel to the open world. Pretty simple, Jefferson Trade Center. Now you'll see the indicator whenever you get this movement speed. And then that way you can keep vaulting over things. I find that the easiest way to get your movement speed buff. So I just start jumping over everything. It's a lot of fun. So for example, jump over right there, and you can see it has a halfway mark because I have 10% movement speed buff. Oh, here's the loot goblin. And this is with 2.1 million armor. Oh, and he just dropped the Eagle's Grasp. That's hilarious. So, let's see. If I EMP myself, right? You can see I have my movement speed buff. And then if I vault, movement speed buff. Nice. Let's see. Another thing I can show before I just jump over to the gameplay. We have the status effects. We just did the vaulting. Oh yeah, the not moving. So if I just stay still, you can see that debuff. It was fully maxed out. That's 20%. See? And then while that is, and then it's gone. So then you'd have to wait the full 5 seconds. You get the 20% movement speed buff. There you go. Boom. And then you can go crazy. And then once it's gone, vault over something. Oh, not climb over. Nope, don't climb over it. Come on. Hold on, let me vault. And then you get that movement speed increase. Like I said, I find this very helpful in the dark zone. It's a lot of fun, especially when you're, doing your exotic runs, or maybe you're trying to get through a landmark or something. You can easily just jump over something and get your movement speed buff for a few seconds and get out of a sticky situation. But as far as the reality to it, here's the bad part of the video, okay? There's really no reason to be using these knee pads. It's fun to use, but in reality, do you really need movement speed? No, you really don't. The only reason, like I keep saying, is going to be the dark zone, primarily the PvP part. Because even in the PvE part, you don't need the movement speed. It really does not help you. It doesn't make or break anything. You're better off using Emperor's Guard to get the armor regen. You're better off using the Fox's Prayer to get the damage targets at a cover. There's so many other things you could be using than movement speed. However, for something like PvP, it is very useful. It is. And for somewhere like the Dark Zone, it is very useful. So I will agree, using something like this in the Dark Zone, by all means, try it out. It's a lot of fun. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you some gameplay. But that's going to be my full review. I would highly recommend, if you ever get these knee pads, to go for crit regen of some sort or headshot regen. Either way, that would be the combination I would go with these knee pads, and that's what I'm testing out during this PTS. So if you see me in the dark zone during this PTS, that's what I'll be running. If you want to see this Acosta's regen god build sooner rather than later, just let me know in the comments. Just say I want to see that Acosta build in action, and I will give you a full build breakdown. But without further ado, let's jump into some gameplay. If you found this video helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that thumbs up. I do daily Division content, so make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you don't miss a single Division video. But again, I'm Kamikazevondoom. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out. Oh, yeah. And roll that footage. Yeah.
Gear detected. Rogue status removed. Helo almost at control detected. Rogue status removed.